Hello, 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 hello. I'm just looking to see how many people have joined the feed now. Quite a number, but very, very far from the amount of people who are supposed to be here today. However, that doesn't stop us from starting. My name is Ijoma Kalo. I am your host, program coordinator at Leap Africa, and I'm hosting the Youth Leadership Development Program. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm just taking a look at the YouTube numbers to see how many of us are here. I'm just saying thank you for joining us. We understand all of your challenges and we applaud you, in fact, for being part of this, making our time to be part of this, making our time to develop yourself through this program to be outstanding ethical leaders for Nigeria and for Africa. It's no small feat. It's no small feat at all. What you're doing, we applaud you once again, over and over. We applaud you. So I'm sorry, because of our numbers, we're not able to take everyone on the Zoom link, which is why we have made provisions to stream live on YouTube. So please, whoever you know who is supposed to be part of this, ask them to come over to YouTube. Ask them to come over to YouTube. We're doing it live here. We're going to be taking your questions. Of course, this is a live learning session. And before I even get to the part where I'm introducing you to our facilitator for today, we're just going to do some ground rules. We're going to use the next few minutes to, just dispel all the issues that you've been having. I must tell you that this meeting is going to be recorded, so you can come back to it in case you're having any issues whatsoever with logging in to your learning or anything that might be an issue for you. So here's where we're going to start. Here is where we're going to start. We still have a very okay, so I hear people talking about data. I mean, you were going to use data anyways, but whether on Zoom or on YouTube. And as we said in the beginning, if you're able to complete this program, you actually get a data stipend, right? If you're able to complete all the learning components of this program, Leap Africa will reward you for learning because we really are out to have you guys learn. So if there's any other better way for us to serve you or for us to bring this learning to you that is more cost effective, trust me that we are exploring it. But for now, this is just 1 hour or let's say 2 hours every week. I'm sure you will survive because I know that you guys are champions and you're making efforts to be here, and we don't take that for granted at all. So, what is the live session? First of all, even before I go to that, I would like to use this opportunity to say that we pre-recorded as well the onboarding session for this program. So any questions that I may not answer or I just, flip to the side, be rest assured that we answered it in one way or the other in the onboarding session. But I'm just going to touch some questions that have not been answered. Here I am, and today we have the live session. What's the live session? So you're going to be learning, for most of you who already interacted with some of the course material on the learning management system, which we call the LMS. I'm sure you've already started. Please, if you've started, you can just, signify with a wave or an emoji. I can see you. Just want to say thumbs up to you if you've actually started. But then the live learning session is an opportunity for you to have somebody live on your screen talk to you about basically preempting some of the challenges, some of the things you're going to meet in front when you actually start the activity part of this program. So we've curated learnings for you from project management, because you're going to be running projects. If you're on the sustainability track, you're going to be running projects. Even after the sustainability track, even if you're part of the advocacy track or you choose to be part of the advocacy track, after this entire learning, when you must have become equipped to be youth leaders, to be nation builders, you are always going to jam projects. You're always going to meet projects in front. So project management has been designed to equip you for what you're going to meet in your future. Same as proposal and reports writing. You're going to be writing reports, you're going to be writing proposals. For every project you do, you need to write a proposal, you need to write a report to say, oh, this was how the program went when I did it, right? And then for the people on the advocacy side, you're going to be speaking to public speaking. Even on the change project side, you're going to be talking to stakeholders and they want to hear you, right? Why should we do this project? Why should we join you? So public speaking is for you. So basically, all those live sessions are for you to prepare you for, the time where you'll be acting as a nation builder indeed, as a change maker indeed. I see hands, I see people who are already interacting with the course, and I applaud you. Thank you so much. You're doing real good work. So I'm going to pause now. I'm going to first of all share a QR code and the link, right? Because I understand that some of us have not been receiving emails from Leap Africa. You've not received the onboarding email. Maybe you just heard about it from your fellow team member who actually registered for the program. You've not received it because maybe your team member just gave your names but didn't give your email, or for some reason maybe you suspect that the email address you had dropped was wrong, because we've seen in sending emails to you, we've seen some people whose email addresses were wrong. Maybe you wrote ijcarlo@gmail and you didn't put .com or something. So if you suspect that your email address was wrong, or maybe your team lead didn't add your email address when you were registering for the program, please pause now. I'm going to share my screen now with, please give me a moment, with the link that you need to join. All right. So using this link, please just fill out your information. It's called the supplementary mailing list. So using this link, all I need you to do is just fill your name, your institution, and your valid email address. Please give me a moment while I put this on slideshow. Yeah, so I believe this is on slideshow now. I'm looking to see if you can see it as well. I'm going to pause because it seems as if the network is a bit slow, so you're not hearing me as I go. However, on my screen right now is the code, is the QR code that you can scan to put in your email address in case you're not currently receiving emails from us. You can also use the link on your screen, https bit.ly/supp list 2024. Please, you're also going to see that link on your chat. You're also going to see that link on your chat right now. We have our support team on the chat box also going to be dropping that link. But if you can see it on my screen, please be sure to go ahead and click on the link and go and fill out your name and email. The name and email you want to use to receive. In case you have not been signed into the LMS, you are not receiving any other emails from us, please, this is a good time to update your email. If you know you've been receiving emails from us, even if it's one or two you've received in the past, please don't fill the link, because we don't want to have repeat emails that we're sending to at the same time. But please feel free to do this. That's the first thing that I want to address. If you cannot join with the QR code, please use the link. Just use the https bit.ly/supp list 2024. if you can't use the QR code, just use the link. I'm also going to try to drop the link on the chat. I'm not sure that our support is able to do that currently. Please give me a moment while I copy that. Please look out for me at IJ's POV. You see that I dropped the link there. You can also go ahead and pick it up and go. I don't see any other person who might be having any issues. But yeah, so I'm going to run away from this right now. Stop sharing my screen for a moment. And I'm going to ask, is there any of you who has not signed into the Telegram group? Because look, there are over 4,000 of us who have been onboarded on this program or who have been identified as successful applicants to this program. But there are only about 1,000 or 2,000 of us on the Telegram group chat. That Telegram community is where you get first-hand information. If you aren't getting emails, if for any reason you haven't been getting emails, or there are questions you've been asking on the email that you have not been forthcoming with responding because of the volume, feel free to be on the community. The community will help you, greatly, right? Also, I know that someone is dropping the Telegram link. I'm also going to try to drop it myself so that you can go on. So I have dropped the Telegram link as well. Please go ahead, make sure that you join Telegram now. Please go ahead and join Telegram and say hi, introduce yourself. You might find someone from your school or someone from your state. So at some point, you're going to have to be relating on those levels. So please go ahead and join the link and introduce yourself. Thank you very much. The last thing that I would like to address is for the people who say, oh, I received the email to join the LMS. However, I'm having some issues signing in. There are two things that I would like to say to you. First would be, please make sure that you follow to the last detail everything that was said to you in your welcome email or any attachment that was sent with that email from Learn at Leap Africa. Make sure that everything that was sent, you're following it to the last detail. The course administrator is very detailed, and everything as was said is how you should log in, nothing more, nothing less. However, if you're using another email that is not what you registered with, then you might have a problem, right? For instance, I registered this ijomakalu@gmail.com, but now I come and I'm using kalu@gmail.com to try to log into the LMS. It won't work. It won't work. You can use only the one that you registered where you received the email. However, if for any reason you need to change the email that you registered with in the first place, the email where you received the welcome email to, you want to change it, you want to change that address, then please, you also need to fill out the supplementary list. You can come back to this video in case you don't see the link anywhere on the chat. You can come back to this video again, find that link and go and fill out and say, oh, please, I'd like this to be my supplementary email instead of the one that I have. Then maybe we'll onboard you again. So I think I've answered what have been the major challenges. Okay, yeah, so I see that our Leap Africa's account is dropping all the links that are needed on the chat. So you can go there and get whichever one it is that you need. All of them are going live right now. I think I've addressed everything that needs to be addressed concerning this. If there are any other issues, please let me know. I'm looking at the chat to see if there are any questions that I've missed, but it doesn't seem so. So Telegram, supplementary emails, and logging into your LMS. Then finally, I must say to you, please remember that you have till the 29th of July to complete your learning on the LMS. I understand it's a short time, but you can do it. You're all students, you know how to burn the midnight candle. I know that you can do it. We'll try to see if there's a possibility to give a grace period of 1 week after July 29th because of all the issues we're having onboarding you in the first place. However, that's not guaranteed. So if you can complete the course at the given time, please, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. We'll be moving very quickly and very speedily. Finally, one last thing. I understand that some of us are writing exams and are not able to join or to participate when others are doing. Everything we're doing here is self-paced. The LMS is self-paced. You can do it at your own time. If you have a 2-hour window, please go ahead, use it, and follow the courses as much as you can. If you have a 2-hour window, you can come back and revisit these live sessions in case you missed anything. They are all going to be live for you as long as you are a member of this cohort. So please make sure that you're utilizing these opportunities that are presented to you. You're already doing well so far. You're doing fantastic, and we are commending you on that front. Please remember that I said, or we will share with you that this attendance for this program is compulsory. Somewhere along the line today, you're going to get an attendance link. I'm going to ask support at Leap Africa to send you the attendance link in the chat box, and it's also going to be on your screen. So you can go ahead at the time. So this is not going to happen till the facilitator is done teaching. Meanwhile, our facilitator is in the room. Please give it up for our facilitator. She's right here in the room. She's going to be joining. She's going to be invited to speak very, very soon. So please, the attendance link will be dropped immediately after this session is done. Once the facilitator is done speaking, I'm going to share the link and then you can register. So for those who your team members, your friends who are not on the link currently, ask them to come back, watch this video, and go and click the attendance link and register their attendance for today's class. With that being said, I think I have addressed all the issues that we've been having so far. You can come back to this video, as I said, anytime to take anything that you have missed so far. Without further ado, the time is 3:22. I'm going to take just a bit of time, just a tiny bit of time to introduce our facilitator today. One moment. All right, here we go. Our facilitator today is none other than Joy Godwin. Joy is, first of all, Joy is the amiable acting program manager at Africa. She's a development professional with over 6 years of experience working with underserved youth in Africa. She has a strong passion for empowering and uplifting disadvantaged youth, and she has successfully completed an complex and multi-year initiatives and programs involving education, life skills training, leadership, youth governance, peace building, sexual and reproductive health, and mentorship. She supports holistic youth development, addressing their unique challenges, and fostering the full potential of young people. If I go on and on about Joy, we're not going to leave here. Joy is probably one of the most wonderful team members at Leap Africa. She's going to take out her time today to teach you what it means to be a project manager. Please give it up in the chat box for Joy Godwin. Please, a round of applause. If I don't see rounds of applause, I'm not leaving here. Just make sure that you're giving her a warm welcome. A warm welcome. Yes, 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 yes. So, Joy, are you able to join us right now? Unmute yourself and turn on your video. Just say hello to everyone. Oh yeah, that's Joy. Please, IT, take my face off this place. It has to just be Joy. Put Joy on the screen. Put Joy on the screen. All right, over to you, Joy. Please take us away. Thank you so much.
Nice. I always love IJ's energy. Thank you so much, IJ, for just keeping everyone going and just keeping the buzz and attending to everyone's questions and all of that. Thank you so much. Well done, Ijoma. Okay, so I'm actually a few minutes late on this session, so I'm just going to get right into it. I'll do my best to make it as engaging as possible, right? And that means I'm going to be needing your help. A lot of you speaking to me in the chat, telling me stuff on the chat, right? Let me especially acknowledge my colleagues. Maybe IJ has done this already, most likely. I see Abisoye, thank you so much. I mean, she's here to ensure that we're doing the work that we said we would do. She's our monitoring and evaluation officer. Thank you so much, Abisoye. And special shout out to Faith. Faith, well done. We see your energy. She's been the one talking a lot with you guys on Telegram as well. Thank you. Okay, so let me share my screen. Da, da, da. I'll be speaking to you guys this afternoon slash evening, on project management. So it's basically an introduction. And I'm going to do my best to keep it as simple as possible, considering that a lot of you are pretty much new to it. Some of you might have implemented projects before now. Some of you, maybe it's your first time, giving it a try, really. The idea is whether it's a first time or whether you've done this before, the idea is that you learn key things that you need to know as you think about the project you would eventually implement. And I believe that I'm speaking to the guys on the sustainability track this afternoon. So you're on the sustainability track. This is definitely for you, and you want to keep in mind some of the things I'll be sharing with you as you think about the projects you want to carry out. Yeah. Introduction to project management. So this is what I'll be focused on today. We'll be looking at quickly what project management is really. When you say project management, is it just a buzzword? Exactly what is it? And then we're asking ourselves why? Why project management? Like why stress us, right? And then we'll be looking into the phases of project management. And it's really just introductory. So like I said, I'm going to do my best to keep it really simple. And if I find that it's getting complex at any point, I'll shake it up a bit, yeah? Okay. And then, of course, finally, we wrap up with what your role is. So when you think about project management and on this program, what then we'll be expecting from you going forward. Some of it already in your handbook, and it's just me trying to call your attention to it again, really. So yes, before I move on to my next slide, let's do some talking. What is project management? I'm in the chat already. And okay, let's see. What is project management? Sorry, trying to see what you are sending in. I mean, feel free to send in your responses. What is project management? The process I see from Ahmed, the process or Ahmad, the process of coordinating a project to achieve desired goals. Nice one, Ahmad. Can I get more definitions? Effectively overseeing the actualization of a particular initiative. This one is a professor. Nice one, Habib. Okay. Nice. You guys are keeping it coming. Great. Khalid, project management is the act of managing a particular project from the ideation stage and up to the final phase of the project. Nice. The act of planning, organizing project events from the initiation to the execution stage. Beautiful. Project management is the process of managing and organizing a program. Okay. Project management is the process by which a project comes into fruition, the preparation process, okay? Project management is simply project implementation and execution, okay now? It is overseeing every aspect of the project, ensuring that all deliverables are worked on. Project management is the act of overseeing the affairs of a particular project or assignment you're giving over a period of time. Ekaite, don't worry. I know you're just joining us. You're not too late yet. We're just getting into the meat of the session. Okay, and we're basically taking definitions. Wow, guys, a lot coming in. Jamil, focus on me first. Focus on me. Don't be looking for attendance list yet. Link, focus. Okay, the act of organizing and managing people resources so as to attain the project at hand. Okay. Project management is the strategic handling of projects to get desired results. Okay. It's the process of planning or, okay, rules in an organization. Okay. Applying knowledge and tools to achieve project requirements. Okay. It is basically the initiation, planning, managing and control, execution and closure of a project. Come on, who is Faith? I love it. She has taken me into one slide of my presentation. This is good. I love the breakdown. Wow, guys, how do I catch up with all of this? You're sharing so much, and I love the energy you came in this afternoon. So good. Let me take one or two. Project management is the process of working with your team to organize a project that meets desired goals. Nice. Project management is the act or process of planning and managing projects to see to the execution. Beautiful, 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 nice. I mean, this is so much. Veronica, you cannot see my screen. Can you all still see my screen? Please let me know. I think that it's still up if I'm missing anything. Okay, nice. I mean, so much. You guys are amazing. It's to let you know that a couple of you have been here, doing projects already. So good. Some of you trying to familiarize yourself with it, and it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Beautiful. Okay, so let me get right back into where I was. So, and you guys shared amazing thoughts. Some of you took a part of project management. Some of you looked at it like in general, but either which way, to be honest, your definitions are within project management. Okay, so I have a couple of definitions here. And this, first of all, looks at a project. So a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or service within a specific time period. So there is time to it because, hey, it can finish. It's not necessarily permanent. Yeah. It may be managed in 3 separate scenarios. It can be a standalone. It can be a project or an initiative within a bigger program, and it can be something within a portfolio. Now, let me explain this a bit. So you're on the YLDP, right? On the YLDP, a YLDP can be seen as a full-on program. So within the YLDP, for instance, we have sustainability track. That in itself is one activity under the full YLDP. When we want to look at sustainability track, somewhere in between, there is mentorship. Mentorship is a component under the full-on sustainability track. So it's like different initiatives even within the broader YLDP. And then YLDP is actually within a bigger portfolio at LEAP Africa. So we have an active citizenship portfolio, and it basically speaks to different projects that we do that has to do with active citizenship. So active citizenship in itself is a portfolio, and then YLDP is a big program. And then, we have pieces of it that we do within the big program. And, there is also, you can also choose to have like a standalone, something doesn't have to have many sides, So for instance, there are programs you attend and it's basically a training like this, and that's all. There's no mentorship, there's no implementation. It's a standalone training, and that's all, and everybody moves on. And yes, there are projects like that. Then moving on to the third one, a successful project is one that is on time. So there is time. There is budget. We have to make sure that we manage the money, right? And we deliver outcomes. So we said we're going to go somewhere. And with this thing we want to do, this is what we want to achieve with it, right? So we want to see the outcomes at the end of the day. So YLDP, for instance, the outcome we want to see is that we want to see young people who can start leading change in their communities, right? And so we have put together many things and we said, look, we want to do it between July to November, and we're done, something of that nature. So there's a timing. And so by November, the next question we should be asking ourselves is, are we seeing people leading projects? Are we seeing people advocating for something? And even after November, on their own, what are they now doing? Are they actually doing something around this part? So have we achieved our goal? And this is just me trying to use YLDP as an instance. I will do my best to start using other projects that you likely embark on. And then the final bit there then says project management. This then gives us a straight-on definition of project management. Is the discipline. So, so think about discipline. Discipline can be seen in the light of your course in school, and that's one part of it. Discipline can be seen in the light of an attitude, like someone who is disciplined and focused. So you can take it from any part. Like I am disciplined to ensure that this project, there's a planning phase. There is a part where we're organizing and managing the resources that we bring together and ensuring that we deliver a good project that meets the goals, right? And we can see the outcomes afterwards and we carry out the outputs. So again, let me try not to use too many buzzwords for you. When we say goal is basically saying, what do we want to see at the end of this program? What do we want to see at the end of this project, right? Then the outcomes can stem from the goal. So let's see. Maybe at the end of this project, maybe a project on, maybe we're cleaning a community. So maybe we've been seeing flooding. I mean, flooding is a good one. I think so. Lagos has been seeing a lot of flooding. So there's been a lot of flooding on the streets. So the goal here is to see how to maybe ensure that there is, how do I put it? What's the word that has to do with good environment in that, street? And we're no longer seeing flood or whatever, So we want to ensure that there is a healthy environment. Like we have the community itself has like a healthy environment, and so we want to do this in multiple ways. And I feel like I'm stepping into one of my slides, but I'm trying to break down what outcomes would then likely be. So a big on goal is that, hey, a clean environment, right? And so outcomes at the end of the day is that maybe we're now seeing that people are disposing waste properly, people are cleaning their environment. What else? People are disposing waste, people are cleaning the environment. What else could it be? I mean, these are two like tiny branches out of the big thing about a clean environment. Maybe another thing we want to see is so people are not falling ill, maybe so because of the hazard, we had a lot of people having cholera or whatever. So now we want to see a decline. So we'd likely start seeing a decline in cholera. So that's like another third branch out of the big on goal. Do you get? So the outputs can be, how did you go about carrying it out? So some outputs that you will have to deliver. So maybe you did a sensitization training, you provided waste cans, you cleaned the drainages, whatever. Those are like outputs. So we did it. We sensitized 1,000 people. We provided 100 disposable cans. Those are outputs really. So I will move on. Let me move on. Okay. So what are the principles of project management? There are 5 key principles on project management. Number one, project management is well governed. So there should be a way we're making a decision on this. There should be a clear vision of what we want to do. We should clearly state out everybody's responsibility. We know who the project lead is. We know who is helping us manage our budgets. We know who is helping us with our administrative things, like maybe writing letters or printing or whatever. So we are clear on who is doing what and what. There is a way we're meeting to plan. We have a time we're meeting once a week, we're meeting at 5 p.m. every day. That's the idea with governance. So as far as this project is concerned, we clearly know when we're meeting, we know the team members, we know who's in charge of what, and what we're doing is clear. The second principle is that it is participatory. So project management should not start and end with the project lead. So I have teammates, I engage them. There is a community we're going to. You don't just step into a community and say, you people want to clean your environment. No, there are processes. Who do we talk to? Can we also hear from, if it's an estate, is there an estate chairman? Is there an estate ESCO? We need to meet with them. We need to talk with them. Do you even know if they want it? So, maybe they don't even want the environment to be clean. Maybe they are comfortable in it. You now say you want to clean it. Hello? Do you get? So that's the idea of it being participatory. We go there, we speak to the community people. Oh, we noticed this, we noticed this. We're thinking of doing this, but what do you think? Or would you prefer something else? Maybe. Who knows? So that's the idea of ensuring that it's participatory, that these people, you carry them along from the beginning, and then you reach that decision. By the time you start the work, you bring them out. We are going to sensitize today. Oh, chairman, come and join us, sir. ESCO, please come and speak to the community for us. Help us do opening remarks before we do the sensitization. Do you get it? We're going out to clean today. Can we have one ESCO just join us on the streets so that they see that there's somebody with us? That's you ensuring that there's participation. And then when you're done, you go back to them again and say, this is the outcome. We cleaned everywhere. We gave 10 houses waste cans. We did this, blah, blah, blah. We took the waste to so place. Whatever it is, that's you ensuring that it is participatory. The third one says project management is comprehensive. Okay. Sorry for my exclamation. So it's comprehensive, from identifying the project and ensuring that your outcomes align. So you can't say you want to clean environment and then the result you want to see at the end of it is that the school children, the children in the environment are going to school and environment is clean. Like, how does it join? The goal is environment, and you say one of the outcomes is that children are going to school. It doesn't connect. So by comprehensive is that you're ensuring that whatever it is you're doing is tying. Or you now say clean environment and you say your sensitization, you want to go and talk to them about HIV on clean environment. It's not connecting. So it should be well thought out. If it's clean environment, it would require you doing some research. What does it take to have a clean environment? What should people know? And what exactly about clean environment are we looking at? Is it just sweeping? Is it cleaning the drainages? Is it that they're not clearing their bushes? What exactly is clean environment? We're doing that research to help us understand every. And then sometimes, not even sometimes, to be honest, there is nothing new under the sun. So you could look to see examples of other projects that have done things like this. What did they do? What was their step-by-step process? So you take all of those lessons and put into what you're doing. Okay, if it's clean environment, we'll sensitize. What else would we do? We will clean it. We'll get the community to join us to clean it. What else would we do? We would maybe provide them waste cans. What else would we do? I don't know, any other thing you want to do, but it just has to ensure that you have to ensure that it's connecting to where you're starting from. If you say clean environment, yeah? And then project management is integrated. So by integrated, it means that, so there are different project management phases and you will learn about that. And it's basically saying all of the phases are actually connected together. So in the definition, right, there was a mention of planning, and then we're initiating it, and then we're implementing, we're evaluating, and then we're closing. All of these things are tied together because even from the beginning of planning, evaluation has started. From planning, if care has not taken, some bit of your implementation would have started, right? So you're planning and you say, oh, I need to have teammates. I'm the project lead, for instance. I need to have teammates, and I bring in teammates. I started implementing just by bringing in teammates. I'm planning. I'm saying, oh, we need to go and see the estate chairman. We need to go and see the ESCO. I'm planning, but I've started having meetings with them. Implementation has started. So all of the phases are sort of like there's a flow. You don't necessarily fully complete one phase before you start another phase. Many times you're in one phase, then another phase picks up, and then the other phase is going down. The next phase is picking up, almost like a wave, but it's integrated. And then the final one is project management is adaptive. And what this means is that, yes, we put our minds that we want to go and it's clean environment, and we're going to provide waste cans, and we're going to clean drainage, and we're going to whatever. And we get there and we see that it's not going like that. So maybe we thought their issue was maybe we thought their issue was what could it be? Blocked drainages, right? We thought their issue was blocked drainages. And then we get there and we find that maybe it's beyond blocked drainages. Yes, there's blocked drainages, but maybe some places don't even have drainages. What can we do? Can we make you might then need to move into a situation whereby you were only thinking of clearing out drainages. But at this point, you're now thinking, can we do makeshift drainages for them? Something that can just stay for a period of time, just to even help the community. That's you changing a plan while on the field because you just saw something different that you did not think you would see. So it's basically you being open to seeing what exactly is going on here. And depending on what you are finding, depending on what stakeholders are recommending, you're able to see how to adapt, but not necessarily deviate from your goal. So you don't want to deviate from your goal. You're just saying, how can we tweak it? What can we do here? All of that, just to ensure that it suits what we're doing. Okay. And I move on. IJ, please help me with time so that I don't overtalk if I don't need to. So there are a couple of constraints to project management. Some things are like, so what I'm basically saying is there can be limitations to your project management, which is clearly stated there. So some of it can be, let's start off from the base, right? So one of your limitations could be your schedule, the time frame you want to deliver this in. If you project that, oh, we can do this in 1 day, but getting in, it's not 1 day. And based on your timetable in school, it's only 1 day you can afford to give. That's a major constraint on you already. Do you get? So it could be that. It could also be cost. Okay. It could also be cost. Maybe you were thinking this project with 10,000 naira will do it. Or you have a bigger budget, really, but the money you're giving is 50% of your bigger budget. That's an issue already. So how do you carry out this project with the limited resources that you have? Another one can be the scope. So by scope, we mean scope entails a lot. So it includes the time. Yes, it includes time in duration. It includes people. So the specific target group, it's in Aleshiloye Estate. So we know that that's the location, Aleshiloye Estate. And maybe within the estate is a particular street, maybe Bashorun Street, for Ibadan people, I feel like I'm speaking some of your street names. So it might be something like that. So that's scope. In Alesh Lawyer Estates, Basharon Street, that's where our project is happening. That's scope. Okay. Yes, so I mentioned timing, I mentioned people. So it could be maybe everybody in the community. So both men, women, children, youth, it could be that. Some projects might just be focused on just children, and that's all. Some projects might just focus on just women, but we're saying, oh, women in Ekiti, and maybe it's another community in Ekiti State. Do you get? So it might be something of that nature and that scope. Then quality. So we said we're going to do this, but we now get there. Instead of clearing drainages, we cleared halfway. So there is point A to point D for us to clear, but we then cleaned it to point B. We've not met the quality of the project. What happened to C to D? Or even the points, maybe we eventually did it to point D, but we only did it surface level, just remove the dirt on the surface level. But we left the other debts, that are still hiding there. You've not met the quality. Or we then say, oh, we're going to provide households, 10 households with waste can, and we only give waste can to one household. That's quality. So we must ensure that we're delivering to the quality that we have said we will within the budget that we have. I don't know. I hope that this makes sense. Okay. And I move on from this. So there are 10 knowledge areas, and this basically speaks to, some of it already speaks to some of the things I've touched on. There's the project integration management, all of capturing the planning phase and all of that. There is the project schedule, and this is basically saying things we need to be documenting, okay, in the course of your project. So on the YLDP, you might not need to do an extensive documentation like, oh my, an extensive documentation like we typically would do on maybe a more established organization or something. In your own case, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks you have to implement your project, but you have to be documenting certain things. So all of this basically says, what are some of those things you should be documenting? Okay, so you should document your planning, your implementation phases and all of that. And I will speak to a couple of those. You are documenting your schedule, and this basically speaks to a work plan. What a work plan means is like, so the way you have school timetable. So 9 to 10, you have CSC 3 or 4. 11 to 2, you have BGS 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, sort of that. So in this case, you're sort of having a schedule, day-to-day schedule on your project. So on 10th July, we're visiting ESCOs. 11th, we're visiting Ministry of Health. On the 13th, so there's a work plan like that. And within it, we're also saying the day we're sending letters, right? So we'll send letters, we'll follow up, letters will come. So maybe we'll submit the letter. We have submitted the letter since like the 1st of July, and then they give us approval. And so we're coming to visit the ministry on the 11th. After that point, we're having a meeting. You have to include your meeting inside your work plan. We're meeting on Tuesday. You move on from there. This is the day we're going to the markets to buy our items. Like that. There's a timing for everything. And then, of course, there's project quality management. Again, just taking note of what qualities you want to see at the end of the day. Project resource management, basically speaking to, can be your human resource, which starts, first of all, with your team members. Your team members are a huge resource. You don't want to take them for granted. So that's part of your resource. Resource also includes money, right? Resource also includes material resources. Some people can decide to maybe not give you money. They give you the materials. Maybe, we'll give you brooms for cleaning, but we're not instead of giving you 5K to buy brooms, we will give you the brooms. So some of those are material, just some things to document as you carry on your project. Project cost takes us into the money bit of it. Then there's communications. Communication says how you're communicating it to your stakeholders, how you're communicating it to the audience, how you're communicating it to the community. So you're paying attention to all of who you have to communicate to. How you're also communicating to your team members, right? So that meeting your team members need to be having, how you want to be pushing it out on social media, blah, 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 we're doing this, we're doing that. How you're communicating with that estate chairman, you have to be speaking to him every now and then. Oh, yes, sir. We're still coming to your community, sir. Oh, yes, sir. We're going to get the cleaning materials today. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are we sure your ESCO is still coming? It's part of your communication plan, right? And then there's procurement management. Procurement is saying, who are the vendors we're going to buy it from? And maybe somebody is in charge of it. We're noting down the persons we're buying things from. We're taking down their contacts. We're taking down their addresses. It's very important, just some of those documentation. Then there's project risks. And this is basically saying, what are we likely to encounter when we get into this community? You've not gotten there yet, but it's important that you take note of what possible risks you could meet. It's possible that we get into that community and they will stone us, right? It's possible. What do we do? And this is just me being, I mean, it might not be them stoning you really, but it could just be, they say no, they don't want it. So how do we manage such situations, right? It's possible that on the day we're cleaning, thugs come out to disrupt our activities. What do we do? Do we want to ensure, and you also pay attention to the environment to know what the risks are. So if it's an environment where they typically experience things around thuggery or conflict, you want to be mindful. What if, should we have some security men be on standby while we clean the environment or while we do sensitization? So you want to take note of what the risk is, I mean, there's typically a framework for it, but I don't think that I want to necessarily go into all of those details just so that I don't make it too complex for you. But just take note of what the possible risks can be and what you would likely do. So it helps you, be mindful of certain things you need to put in place as you're going into that community for that project. And of course, there's stakeholders management. Later on this program, you'll be taking
Hi everyone. Hi. Sincere apologies. I think um, Joy got kicked out because of her network. Also, I'm here struggling with electricity and all that. But let's give Joy a few minutes. Technically we have just 2 minutes to the end of the session. Joy had joined a bit late, but we were hoping that she'll be able to round up the session appropriately. Please just hang in there for us. Just give us another 2 minutes to see if Joy will be able to join back. In the meantime, IT, you can give us some soft music as we just wait for Joy to return. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry. Are we still there? I am so sorry. I'm back in now.
Okay, you're welcome, Joy. Yes, you're welcome. You can go
Awesome.
ahead.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. So I was saying that later in the session or later, yes, as part of the training, later on you would have a session on stakeholders engagement. So I won't dwell so much on that. I'm trying to bring up my screen again. A moment, please. And that's coming up. Okay. So let me try and see how fast I can move just so that we wrap up on this. Yay. Okay. We've talked about all of this already. So let's just move on to the next. Why then is project management important? Basically, we want to ensure that we're utilizing resources properly. We are tracking our progress. We are ensuring that we're delivering quality, and we're adapting to what's going on. So you can't afford to just go in and just, oh, it's not a project, let's just go and do. No, you don't do that. So it takes you sitting down, a bit of planning, a bit of writing. As you're stepping out, you're coming back, you're writing, you're taking note of things. It's important. It's part of the process, and it's how you build your capacity even more. You don't just, oh, we want to do one leadership seminar in our school, and you think you just stand up and just, move students into the auditorium and just have a leadership seminar. No, please. There is a planning, and everybody has all of that. So it's part of why you have project management. So we give you 250K to do that project. You're using it well. Not people, but typically we know that time is money, right? So the time you're even leaving school to do the project is one thing. You have to ensure that you're accounting for the time you're using. The people you have on the program with you, your teammates, you have to ensure that you're utilizing their energy well. So you don't just have a team member who is not even sure what they're doing on the project. They're just with you as project team. They don't have any responsibility, nothing. Meeting day, they just show up. After meeting, they go. The other day, they come back. After that, they go. They don't have anything they're working on. You're not utilizing that human resource properly. Okay? And of course, you just tracking progress, checking in to ensure that you deliver quality. Quality work is done, and you're adapting to the change. Okay, so the next slide now. The project management circle. Project management circle. I'm sorry. I've got a little one. Okay, so we carry on. The first phase of project management, I was already jumping over my head. But going by the project management body of knowledge, there are 5 project management circles. And to be honest, I've largely spoken about them even in all of my illustrations. So I'll see how to move really fast on it. There is the initiation phase, there is the planning phase, the execution phase, there is the project control phase, which is also evaluation, monitoring and evaluation phase. And then there is the project closeout phase. So what is the project initiation phase? This is basically, we're even starting out by, at initiation phase, we're trying to even align on the problem. We said that this is the problem. We have said, oh, is this the maybe people are falling sick in that community. There is a lot of flooding. We have sort of highlighted all of those. And we have said that this is our set goal. So we're clearly defining that. So it has to do with a lot of writing. So, and that's basically what you call would have you write a project proposal, right? So at that proposal, it's a detailed template and you're thinking through everything properly, everything. The problem, with statistics, of course, to show that you're actually doing good research on it, what the goal is, what your objectives are. So under the goal, you have other branches. So, clean environments in Aleshiloye Estate, and so objective one, to ensure community, to provide community with access to knowledge on clean environment through sensitization. That's objective one. Objective two, to mobilize the community in cleanups, environmental cleanups, blah, blah, blah. That's objective two. Objective three, and then objective three, it's saying to ensure maybe continued, and I'm just trying to craft things off my head, to ensure a continuity of clean environments in Aleshiloye community by providing waste cans. So I'm defining that. I now have my objectives. I now come down to what you call your components or activities. And you see all of this within the proposal. So your components or activities, I'm now breaking down these objectives into activities. So number one, sensitization. But I want to start off with community engagement. So number one activity is that we're having community engagement, and we're highlighting, we're going to visit the ESCO chairman of Aleshiloye Estate, blah, 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 visits the Ministry of Health, blah, 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 something of that nature. Activity two is still under sensitization. Activity two is then saying hold sensitization events. Do you get? So you see that sensitization alone already has two activities within it. Hold sensitization event or rally or whatever, where you're handing out flyers and all of that. And then you come down to the third activity. Your third activity can now be tied to objective two. Objective two, remember, has to do with cleaning the environment. So we're mobilizing the community. So this is when we then want to have environmental or cleanup day or cleanup fun, whatever, and it can just be one activity. And that's fine. We have that cleanup exercise. Everybody comes out, blah, 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 And then what's the third activity? The third activity is we're providing waste cans for different families. And then maybe the fifth one is that we are handing over the waste cans to families to, no, maybe not that bit of it. Maybe we're then working with the Ministry of Environment to provide a bigger waste, whatever, for the community, just to ensure cleanup continuity, or, you can think of the English word, all of the many linguas you want to use there. But I've sort of brought out about 5 activities, just from 4 or 5 activities from 3 objectives within your concept note. So it's a lot of sitting down, brainstorming and thinking. That's initiation. And we have things clearly stated out. And of course, but then within it again, we're highlighting what the risks will be. We're highlighting how much we would need. So how much is broom? How much is shovels? How much is, transportation to see stakeholders? How much is refreshment on sensitization or rally day or whatever? How much is, you're paying attention, you have that budget. And then of course, you still have like an overall timeline. So week 1, stakeholder engagement and sensitization. And this is just a big timeline, because afterwards you come back and do the tiny timeline, which I explained that is sort of similar to your school timetable. So you have 2-3 weeks to do your project. So maybe week 1, your stakeholders engagement and sensitization. Week 2, you have your cleanup in the community. Week 3, that's when we're, giving them the waste cans and blah, blah, blah. So you're sort of having those big timelines before you now come and start breaking it down into what you would do per day. Within that initiation phase as well, you're identifying your key stakeholders. So who are our stakeholders in this place? The people with shops beyond the estate escorts. the people with shops, they are part of our stakeholders. The guys that play football around them, they're part of the stakeholders, So, so you're sort of highlighting all of that. So that's like a stakeholders mapping and all of that. And when your team is meeting, you're ensuring that somebody is taking meeting notes. You don't come down, all of you just sit down and talk and talk and talk. And that's okay. So who is going to do what? Who is going to do that? Nobody wrote it. No, that's not good, right? So somebody should then write, okay, Cecilia will do this. So person will do this. And they will do it by so day, right? So we agreed that we will do this. We agreed we will do that. Somebody is taking notes and we're recording it. Yeah? Whoosh. No, sir, I won't do this. You would learn more about stakeholders at your stakeholders engagement. Let me leave this here. So after we have written down, and that's basically you now sending us your proposal. We go through your proposal. It's good enough. We give you funding, Maybe you don't get funding, but you really love your project. You want to carry it out. You find a sponsor and somebody sponsors it. At the point you now have funding for it, we now start planning. Okay. So, and this is us now sort of bringing it out in more details. It's already in our concept note or proposal, but we're trying to now flesh it out and make it more, more chubby, if I can say. So a lot of more paperwork happening there again. And this is, I think, mostly heavy on your work plan. So like I said, the detailed work plan. So week one, where we say stakeholders engagement, Monday of that week, what are we doing? Tuesday of that week, what are we doing? Wednesday of that week, on and on and on till week 2, till week 3. That's sort of what planning then really, really looks like. And within all of it, we're assigning people's names to it. So on Monday, Cecilia is doing this. On Tuesday, Balogun is doing that. On Wednesday, Abdurrahman is doing this. On Thursday, Aisha is doing so. So you are assigning people to different tasks, for each of those, whatever you have laid out to do. Okay? And then, of course, you are still outlining what resources will be needed per day. So you're breaking it down further. Okay, so if Cecilia is going to deliver the letter on Monday, she needs to print it. How much, printing money, her transportation, how much is needed? I don't know if you get it. So, yeah. Let me move away from this. And then you start. So your plan is clean. It's neatly put down. Everybody has it. Everybody knows it. Then let's start working. So let's get to work. Monday comes, Cecilia goes to where she needs to go to. Tuesday comes, Balogun is on his way to wherever it is he needs to be doing, or whatever it is he needs to be doing, all of that. So everybody just gets to work, right? So while you're working, you're looking at the plans you have set out. So by Monday, did we achieve what we said we're going to achieve today? Oh, yes, Cecilia delivered the letter. Okay, good. Maybe Balogun helped us call some vendors on that Monday. Oh, Balogun did it. Great. Maybe Abdurrahman was supposed to help us call some photographers to be sure their availability for the second week. Abdurrahman, did you do it? Oh, yes. Maybe Aisha was supposed to help us with what? I'm trying to think about another thing. And maybe she did not, right? Oh, she started, but she did not finish it. She will finish it tomorrow. Yes. So we're just noting our progress. So we don't just leave it, write it and leave it, but we're trying to take note of our progress, how we're moving. We did it. We're going to finish it tomorrow. We started it and we completed it today, whatever. And then we're taking note of how much we're spending. So today now we spent 2,000 naira. You note it down, right? Still within your budget so that you're seeing exactly what you have left. Or we spent 2,000 naira out of transportation. And maybe our big budget on transportation is 20,000 naira. So if we have spent 2,000 on Monday, it means we have 18,000 naira left on transportation. So we're mindful of how we're spending to ensure that, these remaining days, 18,000 on transportation, how are we going to do it? Yeah. And of course, the control phase, which is the monitoring and evaluation phase. And monitoring and evaluation. So in this case now, ignore some of these big words I use, log frame and all of that. Just ignore them first of all, right? And just So in this phase now, you're trying to evaluate, you have to keep evaluating what you're doing. So like I said, at one point when I mentioned that project management is integrated, I said from the beginning, even your monitoring and evaluation has started. So from that beginning, you're trying to see where is this community at? And you might want to have one person on the team that is helping you think about this very well. So where is this community at? Like in terms of their mindset about their health. So maybe the person is having conversations with the community. Oh, do you think that you guys like this flood? Do you think that anything can be done to change this flood? What do you think can be done about it? Is there any way you are contributing to making this flood, are you contributing? Like, is there something you did that contributed to this community flooding? You're just checking their minds. No, we just throw away debt anyhow. Really, where do you throw away your own debt? Oh, I just drop it inside this gutter in my front. Whatever it is, they just say. It's you just trying to check what exactly they're thinking about. You're not trying to correct their mindset. Oh, don't go there and say, no, madam, you should be doing this. That's the evaluation. So you want to first of all understand how they are thinking and don't correct it. Just because there's no right or wrong answer at that point. You just want to know the state of their mind. What this does for you is, by the time you then do your sensitization campaign, you can go back and ask them these questions again and then see how they're now thinking. Maybe this is now saying this time around, no, I won't drop waste in the drainage in front of me anymore. No. Now I will tell my neighbor to go and drop it in so place. So you see that there is a shift in how they are thinking now, because you are evaluating the difference between what was before you started and what is now that you're on the project. And eventually, at the end of the project, maybe give it 2-3 weeks time, go back again to the community and see what's happening. It's part of monitoring and evaluation. Are they still doing what they said they would do? Are they still on track? And all of that. Yeah? So it could be some of the things to always check with. And of course, you're paying attention to your timing. So if you said you were going to finish up the sensitization campaign in one day, but maybe there was rainfall that day, and so you could only start campaign around 3 p.m. You wanted to start at 9 a.m. And so you started around 3 p.m. You couldn't finish up. So you say, you know what, maybe day 2, you come and finish up. You're checking your time. Or you had planned to do something for 3 days, but with the look of things, you don't have enough time. You're asking yourself, okay, how can we finish this up in 2 days instead? So it's part of the control that happens within this phase. And then you're closing. So your 3 weeks is done. You have carried out sensitization, engaged your stakeholders, done cleaning, provided them waste cans, got the ministry involved. You've done all of that after 3 weeks. You must write your report. Because guess what? What is not written did not happen. Did you hear that? What is not written did not happen. So no matter the good work and the hard work and the dedication and the intention, if we don't see your report, it's as good as you not doing a project. And we won't count you as one of the people that led a project. So your report is very important. Very, very important. So you want to put together what you call your activity report. So just reflecting on the things from the beginning, and you could put it in the manner with which you had written your proposal, right? So all of those activities, stakeholders engagement. In this case, you are not explaining what you would do. Instead, you're describing what you already did, right? So we went to our lawyer community. We met with the chairman, seven escorts, blah, 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 and all of this. We visited the Ministry of Health. We met with the commissioner, the Kinikon, all of that to get their buy-in and all of that. And they said this, that. You're documenting it, what they said. And which is why I said you have to be taking note of your accomplishments per day, because those are the things that you now collate in forming your activity reports. Because sometimes you may not remember certain things that happened on certain days, but you're just taking notes, and those you can go back and pick up some of those things and put together a fine report that you could send to us. And of course, you are learning. So you did this after 3 weeks. What did you learn? Oh, now we now see that maybe there was something we didn't even notice was going to happen. maybe for instance, we're going to come for this cleaning, and we're not considering that we might see children on the road, like children with naked bodies up and down, and maybe something, there was a little or minor accident that happened. Maybe a child now fell into a drainage, so, we now learned, or maybe next time, this is what we will do. Maybe it's possible to even have a first aid kit with us next time. So when we go for these things, in case of injury or whatever, this is what we'll do. You are learning and you're writing it down. So we learned this, we learned that. Is it almost time? And of course, you are tracking your payments. I thought someone came off mute. I think I'm wrapping up already. You're tracking your payments and all of that. Your money, like I already mentioned, you're documenting how much. So you would eventually present a final report on how you used your money. And yeah, so this is just like a recap, right? Initiation, your planning, your execution, the control, and your close. So I wanted us to do a quick activity and we will wrap up here. Sorry. So let me see if I can come back to my chart. Let me come back to my chart. So I have this activity here, and I want us to do this quickly. So see the first activity there. Let me see if my people are still here with me. It has gone blank. Are we still seeing? Has it gone blank?
So you might need to put it on slide.
It. Okay, got you. Let me do that again. Sorry. Let me drop this. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with me right now. Let me stop sharing and let me start afresh. Where's this now? Okay, can you confirm that you can see it now? Is this up? Can we see this?
Yeah, but you need to put it on slideshow. Okay, yeah, it's coming.
Okay, slideshow. Great. Okay. So I wanted us to try out this activity. I wanted to see if it was possible for me to be able to read your comments. Okay. Oh no, I don't think I found a way around that. Okay, but let's try this activity. Please stay with me. I'm already done, really. I'm done. I just want to check to see if you got what we're doing. So the first scenario there, as a final activity, project voting for PWDs organizes a large-scale art exhibition to support PWD community in Gwarimpa community. As the event concludes, the project manager conducts a post-event review, ensures all contracts and payments are settled, and evaluates the overall success of the project. What phase of project management is this project in? I'm not able to see the charts right now. Maybe IJ can tell me what people are dropping there as their responses. Let's see if I can join in from another device.
We don't have any responses yet.
Oh, my people, what's going on? Look at it closely. What face is this? Okay, I think I can see. Okay, I'm on it now. What face is the first one? If you really listened. Habib says close. Okay, I mean, no, not clear. Okay, you don't understand. So you remember we talked about the project management circle, and we said there is the plan, there is the implement, there is the initiation phase, and I tried to explain that already. There is a planning phase, there is the implementation phase when you start doing the work, there is the control phase, which is also the monitoring and evaluation phase, and then there is the close phase. So I want us to identify the phase of this project. Phase, Hasanat says, or Husina says phase 4. What's phase 4? Good Gista says phase 4. What's phase 4? Okay. PG Sam says close. Habib says phase 5. What's phase 5? Evaluation phase, phase 4, close, phase 5. Okay, so phase 5, close, phase 5, okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So that's actually the close phase, right? So if you read from the first part, it says as a final activity. And then it says we conduct post-event reviews and we evaluate overall success, right? So we're done with it already and we're just wrapping up. Okay, so it's a close phase. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I mixed things up myself. I'm sorry. It's actually it's part of the evaluation phase. It's tricky, but it's part of the evaluation phase. So a final activity, that means an activity is just wrapping up. There's an activity that just completed, and then we did an evaluation. We, ensured that we have settled payments, and we are sort of evaluating overall success of the project. So evaluation is happening whilst it's sort of coming to a close, but it's not like a complete total report of it. It's tricky, but yes. And then we move on to the second. It says Project Tech for Change is underway to create a new customer relationship management system compatible with businesses in low-income communities, especially in Morocco community. To achieve this, the project manager monitors progress against project plan, tracks key performance indicators, and identifies potential risks, which includes regular code reviews, testing, and client feedback. Is underway to create a new customer relationship system. So it is underway to create it. And so for the person to achieve this, the person is trying to monitor, the progress, key performance indicators, identify potential risks. It's checking, it's testing, it's trying to see feedback. What do we think?
What? I think. Hi, Joy. We cannot see or hear you. Are you still there? Oh, we've lost Joy again. And we were just coming to the concluding part of today's program. Yeah, I understand if some people have to leave. I hope that you return soon to just watch the rest of it that you may have missed or you miss if you were to drop off. But I believe Joy will be coming back shortly to just complete the session. So please hang in there. If you can, and if you cannot, that's okay. Just make sure that you've taken your attendance. But I'm hoping that Joy will come back soon so that we will close appropriately. Oh, Joy is back. Over to you, Joy.
Joy is back. I'm sorry, network again. Okay, I see interesting responses there. I hope you guys can see me now. Somebody says she's frozen. Am I still frozen? Do I turn off my camera? Would that help me save my bandwidth?
Oh no, you're super fine now.
Okay. So I see something going on there. Okay. So I see responses. There's plan. There's control phase, there's evaluation phase. Interesting. Can be tricky, right? When we say project management is integrated, it can be tricky and you just feel like, what's going on here? Okay. So already it says that it is underway. It is underway. So it's something they're looking to do. So in trying to do that, a couple of research is happening just to be sure if what they want to put out there will be good enough. So it's not like it's not like the CRM system is now available for business. They're basically looking at what has happened to then develop it. So the product they want to put out there is the CRM for businesses, right? So it's underway, and that's the planning phase. Awesome. So the third one there says, the leadership team of Elect the Youth decides to expand its operations outside Nigeria. They recognize the need for a structured approach and appoint a project manager to initiate the expansion project. The project manager conducts a feasibility study, identify key stakeholders, define project objectives, and prepares an initial project charter. What phase is this? That's the third one. What phase is this? I'm still in the chat. What phase is this? I'm waiting. Habib is dropping bombs. Habib, give me an answer. What phase is this? I'm waiting, guys. Look at it again. What do you think is happening here? Okay, Habib has responded. Okay, I see Husseina as well. Who else? Who else? Let me see 3 more responses. Initiation phase, initiation phase. Beautiful. You guys are amazing listeners. Yes, initiation phase. Good. And then this one says, true or false? A project is an endeavor undertaken to create a unique project or services within a specific time period. True or false? Oh, Habib, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. True or false? The final one. You're welcome. True or false? The final one. Going, going. Do we do gone? Going, going. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ebenezer, for saving us. Nice. All right. So just the last part of it, basically wrapping up what your role is in all of this. I mean, and I think I've spoken about it. Just ensure you're documenting, you're coordinating the people, you're coordinating your stakeholders. You're working within timelines. Like I said, you have 2 to 3 weeks to deliver on your project. So you're working within timelines. You're tracking your expenditure, managing your budget. Ensure that you submit your reports on time. And you're using the correct template. So we'll be providing you with your project proposal template, your project reporting template. Ensure that you're using the right templates and you're submitting on time and you're managing your relationships well, right? So with us as your funders, with your stakeholders, the people you'll be meeting in your community, the people that will be benefiting from your projects, they are all stakeholders. So just ensuring that you're managing everyone adequately. Your team members are equally your stakeholders. Beautiful, Favor. I like that. That's your key takeaway. What is not written what is not written was not done. What is not written was not done. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I can take 1 or 2 questions and we call this a wrap this afternoon. Any question at all? Okay, I still see some people dropping their answers. Any question at all? Questions? 1 or 2, and we call this a final wrap. Okay, I'm assuming you're typing. So I would give this a few seconds, and if I don't see any questions, I'll hand over back to Ijoma. So just a few seconds now. I'm looking out to see if you have any questions. How's do you handle project delays or timeline? Yes, I mean, this happens a lot. So a great way, number one, is to communicate it, right? So if there are delays happening, reach out to us. I'm in this community, I'm trying to do this, but these stakeholders are, I've not gotten necessary approvals yet, blah, blah, blah. Let us know. So when we know, we then know how best to, if to maybe extend and give you some grace, The second bit of it is to also see what you can do on your own end. So maybe you've not gotten up the approval that you need on the project. Is there somebody we can speak to that can help speak to a higher up to help you fast track it? And yeah, it really depends on what it is that's causing the delay. Or if it's a delay on the part of a vendor, a vendor has not delivered something they were supposed to deliver, and instead of you doing your carrying out your project that day, the vendor didn't deliver, and so now you're having to reschedule in 1 or 2 days. It's important that you communicate to your stakeholders, communicate to the community, because people might have gathered. Just ensure that communication part is so key. You don't keep any delay, whatever, to you and just feel like, oh, let me figure my way around it. Communicate first of all, and then ideas can come up on ways to solve it. But communication first of all. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Everybody seems to be asking questions about the slide. So I think that this is just it. But I hope I responded to your question, Sani Umar. Does that help you? Okay, I see another question from Sani. Let me just take this final one. He seems to be the one with questions for me today. What risk management strategies do I use in project planning and execution? So when you think about risks, there's typically a template provided for it, and it's within your proposal. So you want to even first of all highlight what those risks could possibly be. When you think about it from the lens of so we think about it. There's something we call the PESTO analysis, right? And I hope I'm not making it too comprehensive, but you call it the PESTO analysis, PESTLE. So the P stands for political. What could be the political environment, political state of things in this community? The E is for environment. What could be the M? So yes, there is one E for environment, right? So what is the either environment or economic? They are both of them are within the PESTO. So one E for environment, let's say environment. What's the environmental situation? And maybe you think about it from the lens of climate within this community or this society in general. The S then stands for social. What's the social state of things within this community? Do people play football? Do people have do they stay in their parlors? Like, what's the state of things? What's the social state of things within that community? Those things inform your risks to pay attention to. Or does thuggery happen? What's the social state of things? The T there is technology, right? So what's the technological state of things there? Do people there use WhatsApp? Do they use Facebook? You want to just use that should also inform your risks. The L there is the legal. So that's law, right? Legal, whatever, legal state of things in that community. What does the law say in the community? Do they have certain salient cultural laws? So maybe on the fortnight, they have one masquerade day or something. So you know that you don't want to you shouldn't fix sensitization on such a day. Do you get? Or they don't allow women go out on Saturdays. It's part of the legal law. First two, and then the final E there can then be economic. But I think I twisted it. I think the first E should be economic, the last is environment. But well, the economic state of things there, are there businesses, small businesses, big supermarkets, and all of that fits into what your risks can be. I hope I responded to that well, and I'm seeing many more questions. but I think that we spent quite some time on the call. We spent quite some time on the call. Oh yes, pressures. So if a project fails, it's part of learning. It's part of how you learn. So it did not achieve what we had set out to achieve. We thought it could go this way. And it's part of certain things you can share. So as a project manager, I thought that doing this, doing that way, from research and all of that, maybe we saw it in Oshobo community and it worked. But going to Zamfara community, we tried it. It did not work. I have learned. Do you get? So it's part of the learning that can happen. So it can be reevaluated. And so you now say, oh, it looks like in Zamfara, they would prefer it this way, this way, this way, not the way it happened in Oshobo. And that's how you expand your knowledge. If it's not enough, so when funding is not enough, we're going to advise you to, first of all, look at your budget again and say, what can we cut down? Or you go back to your scope and say, maybe we cannot reach 10 communities the way we planned it. With this money, it can only go into 5 communities. So we can cut down on our scope to ensure that our budget, we meet what's expected without reducing quality. Do you understand? So it could be that. Or maybe we're thinking we'd have some money to reach 10,000 people, but it's not sufficient to get us to reach 10,000. Do we say, okay, we reach 100 and then the 100 reach out to another 100? You can also find other innovative ways around it without you directly doing it so that you don't, break the bank, right? So it could be one way to do it. So you could innovate around it. You could reduce your scope, or you could come back again and say, what are the non-essentials within my budget? So if on the budget, I was planning that everybody will get stipend up and down. In fact, every day you go out, stipends for you. Maybe I come back again and reason and ask myself, is stipend really a need on this project? How can we cut down on this? Or maybe as part of our budget, we had said for every government office we'll take wine to them. We'll come back and ask ourselves again, must we take wine to this government office? So it's part of all that needs to happen. Yes, I hope that this was helpful. Thank you all so much. This has been so good. IJ, thank you for having me. Thank you, Faith. I've had such an amazing time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you so much for your time. This is probably one of the first times I've seen everybody, the students actually comment a lot, and participate in the class. And that's because you brought it to life for them. So this is just me saying thank you to everyone who has stayed up until this time. Thank you so much for staying. Well, I don't even know if I should be thanking you, because you should be thanking us, because you're learning a lot from us. I do hope that you all who have stayed back, or you all who are going to be watching this later, maybe when you're done with your exams for today, would do all the action items that were listed for you, making sure that you're part of the Telegram community, making sure that if you're not receiving emails currently, you use the supplementary list to go ahead and tell us your email, and also sign in your attendance. We want to know how many people are showing up, because it will also count when you start pitching for your change project, or you start pitching for any part of the program eventually. So please make sure that you are signing in and marking your attendance and being part of what is going on here. Fun fact, part of the attendance, we're asking you what you have learned from this session. So you actually have to go and learn before you can fill the attendance. But that's all for now. I want to apologize sincerely that we have run past the time. We'll make sure that it's not the case next time. 1 hour will be 1 hour. This was our first one, and we had some other prior engagements. But please, I'm sure you enjoyed yourself. And with that, I will say au revoir. Bye. See you later. See you tomorrow. We have another interesting session tomorrow on proposal writing and report writing. We have our Dr. Enoch Haruna in the house, who is a seasoned business development strategist and a seasoned grants writing specialist, who's going to come and teach you how to create the most award-winning proposals and get all the grants that there are to get. So see you same time tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will ensure that we keep to time this time and we won't go past the time. So bye-bye, guys. Catch you later.